It's Monday, the day after Sunday. Sunday was the day we went to church. Monday is the day we are the church. It's Monday, the day after Sunday.
So this past Sunday, we talked about Psalm 121 and how we sometimes maybe misunderstand this idea that looking to the hills for my help. It doesn't come from there, but it comes from the Lord who created the hills, created everything around us. And one of the misconceptions that I think that we have about that psalm is that God is only in the sacred places, like the sanctuary, or maybe just in those special devotional prayer times, or a retreat, or big events like a marriage ceremony, that God is there at those big and important times. And it kind of reminds me of a couple things that I treasure that I think are very valuable to me. First one is my grandfather's trombone. My grandfather went to Slippery Rocks Teachers College back in the early days, and he played trombone there. And actually, as a fifth grader, when I started playing trombone, I played this trombone, and my mother played this trombone. It's something that I find very nice to have, a good reminder about my grandfather. But also, another thing too, and I've talked about this before, is my dad's tool belt from Bell Telephone. Has all his special tools and pliers and even his little phone setup thing. And that was one of the things I wanted to remind me about my father. Now the interesting thing is these things are very important to me, but I have not played that trombone probably since I was in sixth grade. And I don't use these tools that my dad used every single day of his career. They're like museum pieces. They're sacred, but they're set aside and you don't use them because they're special. And we think that our faith is supposed to be like that. In Psalm 121, I think, one of the other things that it's saying to us is that God is involved in our everyday lives. As it talks about not letting the sun get to you, or the moon affect you, or you stumble along the path. Those are everyday simple events. And that, I think, is the emphasis that we have to hold on to. Our faith is not just in the sacred times, but the sacred times of our faith is every single day. I like one of my favorite writers is Eugene Peterson, and he talks about the Christian life is not a quiet escape to a garden where we walk and talk uninterrupted by our Lord, not a fantasy trip to a heavenly city where we can compare our blue ribbons and gold medals with others who have made it in the winner's circle. To suppose that is to suppose that Christianity is going the wrong direction.
Pastor's pet
Pastor's
peeves.
pet peeve is something that actually is something I realized at Christmas time. And I'm not sure why it's like this, and it's not really a pet peeve, it's just really an observation that, I've been reflecting on, is that when we talk about the Christmas specials, like the Charlie Brown Christmas or the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, or whatever that Christmas tradition might be, why do we focus on the negative part of that story? For example, I have this wonderful Charlie Brown Christmas tree. And when we talk about the Charlie Brown Christmas tree, you think of that tree. You don't think of the tree at the end of the story when all the kids got together. That's the Charlie Brown Christmas. That's the point of the story. That's the redemptive. That's the way the story developed and grew. That's the point. That is the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. But we don't have that. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. We remember and honor, in a sense, the grumpy Grinch who stole Christmas. You don't see pictures or outdoor ornamentation of the
Grinch whose heart grew and gave back all the presents. Even you can buy a coffee mug and it's Grinch. Ah. Even Dickinson's Christmas Carol. What do we remember most about it? Not Scrooge saying, "Merry Christmas to all," and Tiny Tim saying, "And God bless us all." We remember and we hold up and wear t-shirts and have coffee mugs that says, "Bah, humbug." I find it interesting that at the Christmas time, we hold on to that, I'm going to say, pre-redemptive image of the Christmas story. Charlie Brown's Christmas tree that is just a few limbs. The Grinch who's going to steal Christmas. We hold that. Scrooge saying, "Bah, humbug." I wonder why we do that. So it's not so much a pet peeve, but it's a question for us to think about.
Pastor's Pet Peeves.
God always intended that our faith be a part of our everyday lives. And that Psalm 21 reminds us of that. It's not in the high and lofty times, but it's in those times where you're sitting and working on your lawnmower and getting frustrated. God is there. Or you're doing the dishes all by yourself. God is there. Or you're changing that diaper again for the third time that day. God is there. And I think that Psalm 21 is this wonderful and powerful reminder that God isn't out there on top of those hills. He's right here walking with us. His love and grace is in the everyday stuff. Yeah, that's why I don't play that anymore.
Oh, it's Monday, the day after Sunday. Sunday was the day we went to church. Monday is the day we are the church. It's Monday.